Social networks are a great tool to share content with friends and family, and even with co-workers and business partners. When you share a link, most social networks generate a preview of the link to let users know what the linked web page is about. Now that you're learning more about front-end web development, you're probably wondering how social networks generate these previews. In this video, you will learn how meta tags help web pages create previews of other web pages. By using meta tags to control what information is displayed to users, you can get more clicks when you share your websites. But the meta tags web developers use for this purpose are different from the traditional SEO meta tags that you learned about earlier in this lesson. Traditional SEO meta tags are oriented toward search results, not direct links. Facebook's rapid growth led to millions of people sharing thousands of links every day. To improve the user experience, they had to find a way to display information about a website before a user clicks on the link. To address this challenge, Facebook established the Open Graph Protocol in 2010. The Open Graph Protocol is a set of metadata rules that allow web pages to describe themselves to social networks. There are many metadata options available within the protocol, but before you learn about them, let's first discuss how the Open Graph Protocol metadata is defined. Earlier in this lesson, you learned that meta tags are defined inside of the head element of a HTML document. The Open Graph Protocol also uses meta tags added to the head element, but they are slightly different. Instead of the name attribute, the Open Graph Protocol uses the property attribute to define the metadata name. Then, like the regular meta tags, it uses the content attribute to define the metadata value. Each property in the Open Graph Protocol starts with OG: as a convention to identify it as an Open Graph Protocol related tag. The Open Graph Protocol requires that you must always include 4 properties on a web page. These are title, type, URL, and image. The title property defines the title of the page. This is the text that will appear in the preview. The type property defines the type of content, such as website, video, music, or article. Depending on the value you specify as the type, other properties may be required. You will learn about these in a later video. The URL property defines the permanent web address that the social network must use for the specific page. The image property defines a URL to an image that must display when the website is shared. Together, these Open Graph Protocol properties enable social media platforms to create a preview of the shared web link. Say you share a blog post. The title of the post is the OG title. The blog post URL is the OG URL, and the image that displays is the OG image. There are several other optional properties that you will learn more about later, but let's briefly explore 3 of these. The description property provides a description of the web page. The locale property describes the language and territory of the web page's content. For example, EN_US specifies that the page is in English and the locale is the United States. And the site name property describes the name of the overall website that the web page belongs to. You've now learned how to use metadata to describe web pages so that social networks can improve user experience by previewing shared content. Next time you share a website on a social network, you can use what you've learned about Open Graph Protocol properties to generate more clicks.